Hey there everybody, my name is Kat Bowser. I'm your resident fantasy therapist. Welcome back to my channel. I know it's been a bit, I think it's been a month. Life has been crazy. My father-in-law passed away very recently, so we have been dealing with that. My husband is in the last few classes for his teaching degree, and we've had to fight the college to get him his disability accommodation, so that's always fun. So yeah, it's just been kind of crazy. So those of you who are still here, thank you. I'm sorry. But on a lighter note, my book, Mirrors and Ashes, has now been out for almost 2 months, and I am astounded by how well it has been doing. Thank all you guys who have read it and reviewed it. Those of you who have still not read it but would like to, it is on Kindle Unlimited, so if you have Kindle Unlimited, you can read it for free. And it is also available in paperback and ebook on Amazon and on Barnes & Noble. So I thought for this video I would want to talk about what I learned from this book launch and from just writing this first book. I've done a video previously where I talked a little bit about the things that I had picked up as I was writing, but now that it has been released, I wanted to talk a little bit more on that. So, for those of you here for the first time, hi, my name's Kat Bowser. I'm a licensed therapist, and I am also a writer with my first book out and working on the next few in progress. So on my channel, I try to talk about what I consider to be the heart of writing, which is the psychology of the characters. But occasionally I will do videos like this where I kind of reflect and talk about my own writing thoughts and processes and things like that. So with that being said, let's jump into it. So what are things that I have learned from writing this first book? One, I do not know as much about grammar as I thought I did. Proofreaders are wonderful. They are such a lifesaver. And the thing is one thing I did learn is that there is a difference between what sounds good and what is correct. So are there instances in the book where I use grammar that is technically incorrect? Yeah, some usually in dialogue, because in dialogue, I think it is more important to have your characters sound real than to have them necessarily sound correct. So you will find in my dialogue, I don't always have characters talk grammatically correctly. Reason being, people don't talk grammatically correctly. So that's definitely something I learned. The other thing though, like I said, I learned a whole bunch about grammar that I did not know. Like, for example, when you use like and when you use as. When we talk, I think we consider those interchangeable. In writing, not so much. There is a big difference between them. Lord, commas, oh my Lord. I thought I was pretty good at commas, and I still think I'm decent at them, but there were a lot of instances where I was using commas that I didn't need to use, or I wasn't using commas that I needed to use that my proofreader kindly pointed out to me. So, yeah, that's one of the big things is I've learned a lot about grammar doing this book, and I definitely think it will help my next few books. Second thing is editors. So the editor that I got for this book, I got a line and copy editor and a developmental editor, and she did all three. Developmental editor, I think she's great. I think she pointed out a lot of things that were very important and that I was able to build on and correct. Line and copy editing, I was disappointed with what she missed. I ended up having to go back through and re-edit my book after I got my edits back from her, strictly for line and copy edits. I believe the final count was 300 that she missed. And there's a reason I'm not naming her, because like I said, developmental editing wise, I think she's wonderful. I think she's an excellent developmental editor. Line and copy editing, not so much. And I guess what I've learned from that is you really got to do your research with your editors. And I thought I had. I looked at her reviews, I talked to people that had used her, and I still ended up being disappointed. But that's a learning process, and I have obtained a different editor for my next book, and hopefully that will work out better. But definitely, if you're only seeing positive reviews for an editor, I've learned to be suspicious. My initial thought was, well, that's great. That's a good thing, right? It means that the people that had a poor experience with her either were not leaving reviews or their reviews were not being posted, which I learned after the fact. But live and learn, move on to the next book. Let's see, the other thing I've learned is when it comes to formatting, I am so glad I got somebody else to do it for me. I did have to go back through, like I said, and edit the book after the fact with my editor, and I had to do it after it was formatted. My formatter was amazing with working with me and giving me tips and helping me. So I would like to learn more about formatting. I'm finding I'm looking at getting Atticus because I think that's the only way I would get the hang of formatting, because I've tried it in Microsoft Word and I just cannot do it. It confuses the crap out of me. So get a program that helps you do it. In terms of, I'll go with the last, I think this will be the last thing I mentioned that I learned, is remember that it's your story. When I initially got my edits back, I went through and I made a lot of changes, and then I went back through later and I undid some of those changes. It's important to take into account what people are telling you. Like, you know, if they say this scene doesn't work for this reason, I'm definitely saying consider that and take it into account. But if it's something that you feel is important and vital to your story, leave it. One of the things my developmental editor told me was to take out one scene that I thought really built on character and motivation and things like that. And she advised me to take it out because she said it felt too long. I did initially take it out, but then I put it back in because it just didn't sound right without it. And it turned out to be a favorite scene, actually, of a bunch of my reviewers. So I'm really glad I listened to my gut in that instance and put it back in. So this writing thing, it's definitely a learning process, and I know that my next book will be better, and the book after that will be better than that one, and so on and so forth. And I look forward to that. I do hope you guys will still check out Mirrors and Ashes, because I am proud of it. I am proud of the story that I wrote, and I do think it's a good story, and I do think it has an important message in it. It has a sassy princess, it has found family, it has what I consider to be very important elements about healing from trauma. It has self-discovery, it has fantasy culture, it has fae. So if that kind of thing is your jam, definitely check it out. I will always have the links in the description below for those of you who are interested. And I look forward to, in the next couple of videos, talking to you about the next 2 books that I am working on. And I look forward to seeing you guys then. And like I said, my life has been crazy the last month or so. Actually, probably like the last 3 months, it's been kind of nuts. So I thank you guys for sticking with me, and I look forward to seeing you next time, and until we meet again, take care. If you want to make sure that you don't miss when the next video goes up, make sure you subscribe and ring the bell, and you will get notified when we are back on track. So until next time, stay safe, have a good one.